Hello, hello, welcome back in. We're here for the Rally Cry halftime show. Beatdown was trying to distract me, but it only worked on Steve during
the
the
most
game.
unhinged things get said like 3 seconds
I've
before we're
said
going
this for
live.
years. That we need to make casters need to make a content bit out of it because it would be so funny.
I was unfazed. It didn't bother me, but Steve was over there dying. I'm surprised that he was able to compose himself in time.
We
for the
beat down
round.
Joshi. I don't know how I've even survived
All right.
on this show.
Honestly, same. Sometimes working with them, you're just like, they just crack you up. Like, there's times working with Beatdown and Cast where I don't know how to respond because he's just too funny. But that's a whole other thing. Let's talk about the games that we just had, because that was actually quite a fast game one, even though it was quite close for a long time between the two teams.
That's not the damage graph I expected to see. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, me neither.
Same.
okay.
Oh wait, actually, wait. The between 80 carries, perfect sense. Actually, I take it back.
Not
This
that.
graphic makes perfect sense.
It's the Vi doing the most damage that surprises me.
Well,
I thought it'd be the Jinx that had the most damage.
Let's talk about why we've seen Vi's topping damage charts as opposed to the carries. I think last game was a great example where junglers did not go bot lane until like 15 minutes into the game. They just left that on an island, and they were making action happen elsewhere, and they were making a lot of action happen elsewhere. So it doesn't surprise me too much. Unless the game goes super late, I do expect these kinds of damage charts.
Fact. You know, good point. That is
I'm wheeling it back. I'm actually saying I'm changing my expectation again. I have to remind myself it was a 25-minute game.
That is true.
Not a 35.
Because how kind of some of those team fights did make us think that they were later into the game. Like, we had a quadra kill too from APA, which would make you think that he's going to be higher up in the damage. But I'm glad you talked about that, Kangas, because it was a faster game, only 25 minutes long. Team Liquid Honda Challengers took game one. We'll see if FlyQuest Challengers can bounce back. But let us get into our halftime bit that we have here, the Rally Cry halftime show. This is why I've been dressed like this, actually, was for our halftime bits, because we start off with a little bit of a trivia game that I like to call This or Stat. Very
So
unique,
original.
very original. Nobody has ever thought of this idea.
Convention like
Me
that.
neither.
That's
I know.
good.
Wow.
Have you talked to LCS about that? Maybe they could use something.
I mean, they might steal it knowing them. We can't do that.
Exactly. There's a possibility, because every idea I come up with, especially me, is very unique and original.
I'm sure.
All right, so the point of this game is I have this or that questions, and it's between the players that we have in our game, so that way we can learn a little bit of who the players are, stats that they've had from the past, so that way maybe everyone out there can learn something new, especially you two. Are you ready?
You know that you're single-handedly upsetting like every analyst that we have, because they all say that stats are useless and don't tell us any relevant information, right?
Oh, don't worry. Just wait till you see the stats I have.
Oh, okay, good.
This is magical, so you know, I know this is gonna get a little silly.
Yes. Well, let's start off with question one, because this one is more of a history than it is actually a stat itself. So, which player did better during CLOL Championship while with Maryville University? APA or Spyrex?
Okay,
and
okay,
while you two decide that, you're gonna say Spyrex, and then Kangas, you can think about it, mull it over.
I have a qualifying question I want to ask.
What's that?
What do you mean did better? Like individually, stat-wise, or made it further in CLOL?
Made it further in CLOL.
Okay.
So that way, I will qualify it that way. The reason why we say this is both players did play for Maryville at one point in their career.
Did.
One in 2021 being Spyrex, and one in 22 being APA. And I will say right now, you were both correct. It was Spyrex. Got second place in 2021 with Maryville, while it was a third place finish for APA. Very close between the two.
And also APA, notable in 2020, was not able to play because it was all canceled. And then
True, yeah. And then now he's on Team Liquid Challenger. Let's go APA.
So there you go. You both get a point. Congratulations. I said that it was going to start easy and going to get progressively
Yeah, now I'm
harder as
getting
we go through.
nervous.
All right, let's get into question number two. So which has a higher win rate, Bradley's Gangplank or Faisal's Olaf?
Faisal's Olaf.
Okay.
I'm going to go Faisal's Olaf as well. I mean, I know Bradley's Gangplank is good, but I just don't see him playing it. Well, okay, wait. Hear me out.
Okay.
The fact that he doesn't play it that often, especially anymore, might mean that it was like
Wait, I'm
meta
actually
when he was
switching my
playing it,
answer.
and the fewer games means that it has a higher win rate.
I'm switching my answer.
Because
I
Faisal plays
forgot.
Olaf all the time.
While these two are mulling it over, just to tell everyone why this is chosen, Bradley's Gangplank was something that we saw a lot of back last year. That it was one of his big pocket picks that he was playing with the Prowler's Claw, especially. While Faisal, his Olaf, has always been this pick that everyone had. I'm just talking about in general, so I'm gonna. That is historic.
So if we checked Leaguepedia and went to their overall stats, this would be the lifelong career stats of the champion.
Yes.
I'm gonna change my answer. I'm saying
Faisal
Bradley's
Olaf.
Gangplank.
I'm going to Faisal Olaf actually based on that.
Bradley has been a top laner for a much shorter time than Faisal,
Okay.
and the Gangplank was the pocket pick that he usually did pretty good on when he switched roles.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we have different answers, so only one of you will get the point, and the answer is Bradley's Gangplank.
Let's go!
Just so you
I'm
know,
like that.
your
I'm sorry,
reasoning- Your
Kangas.
reasoning actually was wrong here, Veit. He has played more games on Gangplank than Faisal has played on Olaf.
No.
with
I meant as a
23.
top laner overall.
And he also played Gangplank mid lane back when he was still a mid laner.
Oh,
So
I didn't.
yes, he played that as well in the mid lane. So
All
he
right,
has
fair enough.
he has a couple of years on it. And yeah, it was 23
Come on,
games,
Faisal, what are you
19
doing out
wins
here?
for Bradley's Gangplank, while it's 15 wins out of 19 games for Faisal's Olaf. So there you go.
18 out of 23. Wait, that's actually insane.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Both of them have
Bradley's
only
game.
lost
Well
4
done,
times,
Bradley.
but it's just like
go.
Bradley's played it more and won more. All right, so beatdown. You are in the lead 2-1 against Kangas. Let's get into question number 3. In spring, Arrow and Kim Down were both undefeated on Lucian Nami, going 4-0. But who had a better overall KDA?
Oh,
Arrow's Lucian or Kim Down's Nami?
I have no
Arrow's
idea.
Lucian.
I'm going to assume Kim Down's Nami because Arrow goes kind of psychopath mode every now and then and just like jumps into the enemy team.
Okay.
I feel like Kim Down probably on the Nami is going to be playing safer.
Okay, so 2 different answers again. Well, on this one, I'm not even going to just quantify. I'm just going to get right into the answer. It is Kim Down's Nami. So, Steve
Damn it.
tying the game back
Always
up.
trust your supports to not
Yes.
die as much as the carries.
Unless
it's
your
a
support
rule.
is Kangas.
Everyone
Yes.
knows us unless your support is me. But
the way-
otherwise, always trust
Yeah,
I
the
played
support
one
will
bot
die
game
less.
with Kangas. God damn.
He had a 29.5 KDA on the Nami,
Ooh,
only
wait a
dying
minute.
twice in 4 games, and only 1 game less than 10 assists.
That's
That's
crazy.
pretty mad, actually. All right,
Yes.
respect.
So, the respect out to Kim Down's Nami. But there we go, tied up game going into question number 4.
How many
So,
are there total?
5.
5.
Okay, all right.
Now, who had a better and higher, who had a higher kill participation percentage in spring playoffs, Mir or Winsome?
Mir.
Okay, so Mir is the catalyst for Team Liquid in spring. He was the one that oftentimes was making action happen. So I expect he will have a high kill participation. But Winsome, once he joined, had an insane win rate with FlyQuest.
Did.
And was
Keep
the
in mind,
catalyst halfway
this is
through the split for them.
playoffs. This is
Oh,
playoffs.
Just
for
playoffs.
playoffs.
It's just playoffs.
Just playoffs. I do
I'm
want to.
standing by it. I'm standing by it.
The reason I chose playoffs is so they have nearly equal amount of games since Winsome joined so late.
I think who had the easier strength of schedule. I feel like it was Team Liquid. I'm going to go Mir.
Kangas. Okay.
You're both going Mir. So,
Go Mir.
all right. The answer, you're both right. Our MVP, Mir, at a 71.8% kill participation, while Winsome is actually only at 64.5%. I was kind of surprised, but watching the footage back, a lot of the plays that they were doing in playoffs were actually around Philip in the top side of the map before they even looked to the bot lane.
Interesting. Yeah, no, Philip did have a crazy playoffs run.
Yes.
He
did.
almost tied Lunasia's regular season solo kills
Exactly. So
just
it was
in playoffs.
UG and Spyrex would play more around there, and then was more towards the mid game that they then go to the bot lane. But by then they'd have a couple kills generated from the top side of the map that weren't including Matsu and Winsome. There you go. You are both at 3 apiece going into our final question. So, which
For all the
player?
marbles.
Which player did better in their first split in Academy/Challengers in playoffs? Masu or UG?
Oh.
In their first split?
Yes. And the reason why I
Masu.
chose both of them is because they're both actually technically Wi-Fi wizards. UG, back when he played in Mongolia, would oftentimes play on the super server in China as well as play on Europe with huge ping.
Well, was it on
Yeah.
Wi-Fi? Was it on Wi-Fi?
It wasn't on Wi-Fi.
no,
It was
on
tech.
Wi-Fi.
Well, we don't know. We have to
Oh.
actually ask him. We have to ask him that. So,
I'm saying there's a difference, you know.
well,
Branding is important.
You know
Magical.
what? We do. That's a question we should ask UG actually.
Let's think through this. Let's think through this so logically.
I don't have to think through it. It's Masu. All right.
I'm trying to remember
All right.
UG's first placement. I remember he was in conversation for MVP in his first split. Or at least he was brought up. So I feel like they had a deep run. I just don't remember exactly how high they ended. I almost feel like this is a trick question and it might be the same. You know what? I'm going for it.
Oh,
I don't believe Magical would ever give an honest question for the final one. I'm going to say that's a tie.
You cannot switch your question. You cannot switch yours. You have already locked in because you were so confident with the Masu.
Fine.
So I will reveal that Steve is our winner. It was a trick question. It's a tie. Both of them finished 5th, 6th place. In fact, I was going to go down all the way to the exact game amount they played in that best of 5. But both of them had a 5-game series in that 5th, 6th.
Wow.
So and they lost 2 to 3 in that 5th, 6th placement. So that is why it is a full-on tie. Steve, you win. Congratulations.
You win this time. It was luck.
Steve, I'm glad you know how to read the host, and I hope you know how to read the draft because we are ready for our game. Why don't you two take us and get us ready for our second game in this best of 2 between Team Liquid Honda Challengers and FlyQuest Challengers.
Thank you, Magical. Beat that. I'm sorry the last question had to be about a split that in Academy, I was there for the finals.
Oh, yeah, nice flex.
Go down. It might be a little unbalanced.
Yeah, true.
We'll have to talk Magical like later. Either way, though. It feels good to win. Doesn't feel good for FlyQuest after that last one. Let's go over as we're letting the first bans come through. Kind of talk about what happened in the last game. Refocus for game number 2. There was a lot of bot lane bans from FlyQuest to Team Liquid. A lot of jungle bans from Team Liquid to FlyQuest. UG on the Kazakhs did get accelerated early on, had that solo kill, but wasn't able to translate it into much later, whereas Arrow on the limited champ pool Jinx popped off.
Right, a lot of bans went his way, and I mean, a lot of props to Mir for how he ran the early game. He was the one who helped get first blood on to Spyrax. Because both mids blew their flash early on, he was very active on the map, was able to start dragon stacking, getting to that position where that one dragon fight really turned the game around in TLC's favor. So I really think we got to give a lot of credit to Mir for how he played in that game. But of course, Arrow on the Jinx, really nice work too. We're seeing the same bans across the board, and Masu is switching it up a little bit. Will Arrow?
Yeah. I do like that. So FlyQuest on the red side previously banned the Zeri, but now that they're on blue side, they want to first pick the Zeri. So instead they ban out the Vi, which was an issue in that last game. Mir having that just press R and win team fight type ability, very hard to deal with. So this kind of forces Team Liquid to pick the Yuumi away from the Zeri. Aphelios is up. Maybe we just see that handshake.
Ooh.
Yuumi Nautilus.
Yep. I mean, Mir and APA both played it so far this weekend.
True.
It's viable. Nice flex pick. So you managed to take away a really strong pick there, and you deny the Zeri Yuumi. Like, that's broken. We don't have to talk about it. We all know it. And at this point, it's the handshake once again between sides, even though it wasn't necessarily the first picks, and Milio's going to come through almost certainly.
I don't know which one I think is more broken right now. They both feel like way overtuned. In general, teams are going for the Yuumi, right?
Yeah, I think so. I actually lean a tiny bit towards Yuumi, but it depends. If Lilio or Seraphine are in the game, Milio, I would give it over the top because of the ult. But either way, they're both broken. This is why split straws? Why split hairs?
Yeah, the Milio with the Zeri. I like Yuumi more with the Zeri than Milio with the Zeri, so I actually think it works out really well for Team Liquid because Zeri Yuumi is just so oppressively fast and just impossible to get on top of, especially if you don't have something like the Vi. So this is, I think, the better of the two worlds for Team Liquid here, as they will go for that Aphelio. So we have the handshake in the bot lane. Nautilus still keeping things a little spicy because we don't know where that's going. I expect Team Liquid to probably go for a top laner then. Maybe blind pick Bradley here, so that way APA gets that counter. Or they could save that blind pick for Bradley, who had an insane game. Actually, it's not a blind pick. What am I talking about? Kasante's already locked in.
You're good.
Probably going to the top lane. Although Spyrax has played it, so who knows?
I mean, it's possible, but I'm thinking it's going to be Mir in the jungle. It serves a very similar function as the Vi. You have the point and click ulti, and your wave clear and everything is fine. So your ability to team fight functions very similarly, and Mir is obviously very competent on the pick. We're seeing, of course, the Gwen banned away there for Bradley. The top matchup is what I'm most interested as well, because I mean, we already talked about how many things kind of beat K'Sante, even though K'Sante is also a very strong champion. We've seen Bradley play the Kennen, a champion. I am a big fan of Kangas, and I think it's good here.
Okay.
So either ban it FlyQuest or pick a TLC.
They need AP somewhere, right? I mean, theoretically, it could work.
Yeah. I just want to play pick it. It's good.
Let's catch up on the bans, though, because something notable happened here. Kazakhs Kindred are the bans instead of the Wukong Kindred. So UG banned out the Wukong themselves. Okay, yeah, Team Liquid could have grabbed that. This jungle pool is massively pinched.
Okay, that's what I like to hear, Bradley. No, it's so good. You have Nautilus ult come through, Kennen ult. Masu's not playing the game. They're unplugging his keyboard for him, and it's going to be good. TLC looking for that 2-0. So far, great team fight. They keep the Nautilus a question mark at the end.
That's the key here, because there's a world where FlyQuest could say, all right, we're happy to send the Cassante into Nautilus mid and counterpick the Kennen, but they don't know if Nautilus is going mid because Mir has played it. So instead, it's the Azir blind pick. Now Team Liquid get to choose if they put the Nautilus into that or if APA has something else. He does have a lot of other options. We know that APA's champ pool is massive. I'm even looking at an Aurelion Soul potentially as something could come through, although they do have a lot of AP already, so I don't know if they need that.
Yeah, I mean, right now...
All right, somebody call Rafa. We got Rek'Sai locked in for you.
We gotta call Visions, man. Oh my god, the Rek'Sai is starting to come through. Actually, pretty good champ at the moment here. I mean, overall, we're waiting to see what this last pick is gonna be. I'm thinking jungle for Mir on the Nautilus. You can get a ranged matchup there for APA in the mid lane, something that can contest push, because I haven't seen it come through, but I think it's hard for Nautilus to fight against the Azir. But TLC, they don't agree for me. They're going to give Mir the farming champion. They're going to give him the Graves, that little extra bit of oomph for when we get to the late game.
Yeah, and Graves with a Kennen and a Nautilus around you can actually put in a lot of work. I dislike Graves and comps that don't have a lot of lockdown and are reliant on their jungler to help them out. I don't really see that on the top side of the map. Maybe you could argue mid side APA could use a little help, but the point is these solo laners can enable the Graves to just spit out damage and kind of take control of the game in the mid game. And bot lane's just gonna be a handshake anyway, so I don't expect a lot to happen down there. Interesting approach to draft from Team Liquid.
Right. I mean, I think it's very interesting what we're seeing on FlyQuest side as well. We don't see a lot of Azir. A lot of changes came through. It is more about building for the Nashor's Tooth, for the attack speed, really prioritizing the Sand Soldiers. I think the next patch, or it might have even been 13-11, where his W gets buffed even further. So it's going to be a lot of DPS that he's going for here, and I like it for the ultimate Kangas, because I'm praising the Nautilus, I'm praising the Kennen, the all-in here. Spyrax has that bit of a disengage tool with the Emperor's Divide. I think that was a big thing motivating this pick as well, so that's what I'm watching for.
Spyrax deliver with the ultimate in the key team fights. A mid laner known for this champion. He's had highlight reels from last year in Academy about what he was able to do on the Azir. Now piloting it into APA's Champion Ocean, locking in that Nautilus mid. A lot of this game could come down to the mid lane matchup. Let us know what you think, though, of course, with TLC or FlyC in Twitch chat right now. Who are you rooting for? Who do you believe in?
Right now, I'm really excited to see how Yuji's going to be playing things out. Again, he's receiving a lot of bans. He's fine.
That's Ghost down.
Yeah, it could be worse. Oh, wait, unless...
Okay. They're just trying to stop the back in case Masu was in that rush. Is Masu going to stay in the lane, though? This is really dangerous.
He's going to lose the first few creeps, so he's choosing to stay. He's got to blow the potion as well. I mean, you should still get push because you do a lot more poke and offer a lot more at level 1 as the Milio. So I'm expecting things to kind of go okay as long as no trades that are too crazy comes through here.
And a reminder that last time in game 1, while we were excited for the Masu versus Arrow matchup, Masu and Winsome got very overeager twice in a row.
Yeah.
They got punished for it once in the 2v2, and then again in the 2v1 versus Bradley on the Cassante. And I mean, I'm still excited. Obviously, one game does not make or break expectations for players. I still have a lot of hopes for Masu and Winsome, but I'm wondering how their mental might be affected coming into this next game, thinking, okay, well, we didn't smash like we were hoping to in game 1.
They're probably fine, especially Masu. The few times I've talked to him, whether it's interview or one-on-one, he's definitely a player who is very motivated, in my opinion. Even when we give him compliments, he's even said to me, he's like, yeah, I'm not really sure why you guys being us, Kangas, on the broadcast team, like, you guys are hyping me up so much. I think I'm not playing that well yet. I could be doing better, and I really love that motivation. And we're seeing that from a player who is so fresh to the competitive scene. So I think, one, he'll handle it like a champ. And for watching someone like Masu, you got to be in it for the long haul, right?
Yeah. especially when you're matching up against a player like Arrow, who expectation should be with their experience that they will win this. But let's catch up on what's happened in the game state. Mir going for an invade onto Yuji, who's very low. Might just get revenge.
Lucky.
Smites away the red buff. And Yuji says, all that work and time, and I don't even get that. Ooh, that is rough.
Yeah, it is unlucky. I mean, you got the bounce back coming through bot. You have mid kind of even, so Mir feels pretty confident about his ability early, especially with Graves' first clear being a lot healthier than the Rek'Sai's. But after Yuji gets some gold in his pocket, that's what I'm looking for. That's a champion where you have a lot of play setup with the flash and the unburrow knockup that comes through. And once you get some of that health and stats going through there, because he's certainly building Stride Breaker, Yuji's actually going to be very tanky, but also do a lot of damage. I don't know if you've seen Stride Breaker Rek'Sai, but Kangas, it's not fun unless it's on your team. Then it's great.
I have seen it. It is quite oppressive. Yes. But I will say, I think it's a little better when you have lanes to play through. And right now, the lanes are struggling for FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Team Liquid in the mid lane and top lane managed to get themselves health bar trades or CS advantage. Bradley with the range advantage over Cassante with this Kennen, and also mid lane AP's gotten some really good trades onto Spyrax. So in general, UG doesn't have a lot to play with right now when your lanes are behind.
Right, and there isn't really much. I think he's okay with that. Once he gets that first big component coming through here, first item, the Stride Breaker, that's what I'm really looking for with this champion. So the early game's kind of going how I think we expected it to. The thing to keep an eye on is these early objective fights. You see the vision that's been placed bottom side. Arrow and Kim down now as they get more levels. They're starting to be a little more oppressive in lane. And so I'm expecting that control to translate into Dragons, kind of like it did for TLC in the first game.
Right now, though, Arrow and Kim Den do have the shove into the bottom turret. Asu and Winsome looks like they've been losing out on some trades here as the health bars are looking very good for the bot laner of Team Liquid. And they will push for damage onto that first play, trying to get a little bit more gold, but otherwise still a handshake. Teleport used by Faisal. Bradley has not yet. Trying to get some control over this top wave. First Dragon is now on the map.
Yeah, now, keep an eye on APA in the minimap. Doing a little bit of invading, getting some information, keeping track of this Rek'Sai, keeping track of UG is pretty important there. You can even see him trying to, it looks like maybe getting rid of some of those tunnels as well. So now you have this opportunity to play for the Raptors respawn. You have push as APA, UG is on his own. He senses them though.
APA just goes on to Spyrax. Emperor's Divide. Knocks the Nautilus under turret.
Oh, the knockup.
With UG there. Flash used, but first blood to Spyrax. Nicely played by the mid laner FlyQuest.
Yeah, APA really playing with fire there, not respecting UG's ability to tunnel under the Raptors pit to go for that knockup. Took one too many tower shots, and now it's this Azir who manages to pick up some gold, get that first blood.
Doesn't look like it'll translate into a dragon immediately. I was wondering, with the very healthy health bar of Spyrax, if they would just push the wave and then go for that, but let's get another look at it. Spyrax is engaged on first, and turns the play.
And the thing is, UG understands too, he has the tremor sense, so he knows he's being invaded on. And look at this, he just makes a tunnel with his E. Easy knock-up after Spyrax's nice ultimate there with the Emperor's Divide.
And it's also Spyrax that gets the kill. Bax picks up Boots and another bit of AP. This, Azir is a little accelerated now. The CS differential doesn't exist. APA has done a good job of just catching these waves, but Azir ahead is a threat for any composition.
Yeah, and we're seeing Mir already really starting to get faster and faster with the wave clear, with his jungle timing, so he's going to be level 6 before UG, and because the spot lane is pretty strong at the moment, is just going to really easily be able to go and pick up this first objective, kind of like we were expecting. So UG is just going to take this opportunity to take something back, get that red buff he lost earlier, and since it's a higher level, it's kind of worth.
And a play at mid lane for Spyrax, so all things considered, FlyQuest at least doing something on the map for giving up that dragon. You love to see that. One of the more tilting things as a spectator is to see a team give up an objective and not take anything, but arguably this is a fine trade. UG will even get the Krugs as well. So they're prioritizing the gold rather than the objectives. UG is very behind on Mir in the jungle clear right now, so needs to play some catch up.
Yeah, and he's effectively done that by taking what looked like to be Mir's entire top side. He still has his top side to go for as well. So at least it's going to minimize that difference we saw. And even because of that first blood assist gold he got earlier, he is slightly ahead of Mir at the moment in terms of gold overall. So things are going fine. The big thing I have my eyes on now is, oh wow, this.
Another Emperor's Divide. Remember, Flash is down. If they can body block the dredge line, AP has no escape tools. Has the shield.
Nice.
Oh, Yuji with the Prey Seeker will claim this kill.
Very nice. You get that play mid, you take APA out of the picture, and you set yourself up for that Rift Herald. That's what I was looking for here. My eyes were on top side because Bradley is really strong at this point. But now, 2v3, it's pretty easy for Yuji to actually go for a little bit of pressure as well. Still has his ult.
Has Flash as well, a lot of damage starting off from Yuji, but it's straight right back, and Mir didn't even need the ultimate. Woo, that was some burst damage from lethality grades.
It was the smoke screen. Even though you can see them from Tremor Sense, Yuji was not able to go untargetable with the ultimate. He actually would have been able to win that had the smoke screen not come through. So nicely done from Mir to be able to turn it around, and it earns TLC both neutral objectives in this early game. And now, because Yuji's still off the map, oh, hey, look, there might be an opportunity to, oh, look at that. A blue buff. Don't mind if I do.
Remember when Yuji had all of his top camps to take after cleaning up
I did say that, didn't I?
A little bit of a handshake. Says, all right, well, you can take those ones. I'm going bot. Yuji didn't want those anyways. Now the engage in the bot lane. Yuji's here. Flash available for Arrow. Heal and
there's the ultimate
for Kim down. How hard do they want to commit? Arrow's trying to get back under the turret. He does, and he survives the gank.
Oh, that's the brutal thing, though. With Rek'Sai's ultimate, you unburrow so you don't get the knockup. That lack of CC was what did it there. Allowed Arrow to be able to walk away. So much was committed, and now you can see it on the top side. Mir has the Herald. He took Yuji's entire top side. And TLC, like, they're just back in control of this game. They have the Herald they can make a play for, and they can move APA for wherever you want to use it. This Nautilus, even though he's 0-2, still excellent for setting up dives.
If Bradley had the Slicey Maelstrom, I assume they would have gone for the dive, but without both ultimates, I think File's actually a little lucky that he's alive right now.
Oh, yeah.
After seeing Yuji bot lane, that could have been a dive angle from here. Not going to find it this time around. Instead goes to the reset, has the Umbral Glaive completed. Went for a very aggressive lethality build. Another Emperor's Divide onto APA.
Oh, look who's here.
Ultimate. Now the follow-up from Yuji, trying to lock down this Nautilus, but he's very tanky. Maybe Winston will be enough to turn the play. It's traded. Mid laner for jungler, but Mir is a monster. Double kill on the Graves, chasing onto Winsome with no summoner spells, and that is a triple kill to Team Liquid's jungler.
This Graves is so unbelievably ahead, and it's just gonna get that much worse. He's gonna drop the Rift Herald, and even though Winsome came to save his mid jungle, that gold difference really starting to come through there for Mir. I believe Yuji just picked up the Stride Breaker, which is a big spike for Rek'Sai, but so far behind at this moment here. And you can see it starts off with a good play there from Spyrax, but you see the collateral damage got so much damage onto both of them. Means Winsome, he wasn't going to be able to heal or shield them enough, Kangas.
Yeah, Mir, we had just highlighted, has that first item completed. A very cheap first buy. I don't believe Yuji had it, but now teleport to answer a potential gank. Arrow survives it. Might just turn the play back on the Masu. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. As Bradley's actually in trouble. Is this Faisal's revenge?
Oh, he's got him.
Kill gets him with the snipe. And a solo kill. Now
another teleport.
Spyrax. They're making another play here onto Arrow. And first Divide not available, so they got to do this the old-fashioned way. Arrow's using his damage to try and get out of this one. Cannot survive. Now APA's got a cat on him. Will get Yuji, but surely falls in response. A double kill to Masu. And a kill to Spyrax as well. FlyQuest pick up 3.
And a much-needed play coming through here, punishing the overextended Arrow and Kim down. Remember, guys, teleport has changed. You can TP to wards and minions at 11 minutes now. You no longer have to wait for the turrets to fall. And I think we're seeing teams really start to get used to that, as that is one of the newer changes to comp play. And you can see it, Spyrax, he shows up. It's 4 versus 3. There isn't really much else for me to say, Kangas. Arrow did his damnedest, but couldn't help.
They were able to trade 1 onto Yuji, but 4 kills across the map. The solo kill top lane, and then 3 bot lane means FlyQuest are right back in this game, in this series. The early game felt like it was just going to be a 2-0 for Team Liquid. They were winning everywhere off of Mir's insane early performance. But the team keeping FlyQuest in this.
So it's worth noting Mir's still a problem for FlyQuest Challengers.
True.
He's 4-0. He's got an insane bounty. He's 2 items. Ghostblade, it was pretty good still, despite the changes. And Mir's going to be popping pretty much everyone, besides maybe Faisal, unless he ults as well, because when he does, there's no true tank there on the side of FlyQuest. And with the Yuumi attached to him, you want to make plays away from Mir as FlyQuest for the next little bit, but soon that's not going to be an option anymore when we start fighting for these objectives later on. It's Ocean Soul, TLC are halfway there, so you're going to need to meet Mir sooner or later.
And they don't have a lot of range to deal with him outside of the Azir, who's going to be worrying about a Kennen, a Nautilus jumping on you. It's not an easy job for Spyrex to position and try and take down Mir, who can just pop you if you get CC'd. Very interesting game state we find ourselves in here. FlyQuest haven't gotten out of the hole yet, but they're climbing. Team Liquid still trying to dig a little deeper.
Right, and speaking of FlyQuest, that opportunity to make another play. Yuji has found himself on this bottom side. Arrow, I think, sniffs that something is wrong. They are backing up, but as soon as this wave comes through, Spyrex is on the way. They gotta run.
Respect given. Again, the veteranship of Arrow showing through here. I know many 80 carries that probably would have stuck around saying, I got a Yuumi on me, they got exhaust heal, I can outplay, but Arrow says, nah, it's not worth it. Let's just back off. We have a lead, let Mir play to the top half of the map yet again, as we see the gold lead still rests comfortably in Team Liquid's hands.
Yeah, I gotta say, a lot of that is on Mir, so if there is a team fight where FlyQuest managed to blow up this Graves, that's a team where they could very well win, Kangas. That's the thing you're looking to do right now. It's not Arrow who you're concerned about realistically. He's got that one item, but Masu is ahead of him. It is this Graves, and, I mean, everyone's here.
Live from FlyQuest will walk together to reclaim the vision control in their own side of the jungle. There wasn't a lot of deep vision plays by Team Liquid. Just that one ward that has now been cleared, and as a play for the Herald, I think we can get a 5v5 here.
It's very possible. It's something both of these teams want in that second Rift Herald, but this is too dangerous. You need the pick. Mir is too strong right now, and with Bradley's ultimate, the Slicing Maelstrom, you just have to respect this unless you play for the fight afterwards.
Okay, this is dangerous from FlyQuest. The Herald is aggroed on the TL, so FlyQuest actually have the avenue.
It's gonna expire.
Oh, it's reset.
Oh, that patience.
Okay, Faisal in trouble though. He's rooted down. Chain CC'd. He's in trouble. And a lot of damage. And that's actually Winsome using the Melio W, so that will not be available to increase the attack range of the Zeri for this fight. That's actually huge for the team fight. And I think Team Liquid have just kind of bullied FlyQuest off of it. FlyQuest are waiting for the cooldowns to come back up. Oh, that's a teleport even in.
Oh yeah, Faisal backed, so he's got his health back.
Here's over the wall into the pit. Bit of a scrappy fight right now, and Yuji's just locked down and taken out. Team Liquid getting the better of this one. Spyrex goes in with a big shuffle. Gets onto Bradley and Mir. Watch for Arrow on the flank. Faisal's trying to keep him away. Now jumps onto the jungler. Oh, the gold lead from Team Liquid is on that, and he's out of there. Arrow, even through exhaust, will claim one back. That's Masu down. Can anybody answer the Aphelios with the Yuumi on top?
Oh, they got
the right guns. We've seen this one before. Cassante wins these. Faisal takes down Arrow. Will chase onto APA and Kim down. We'll see if he actually catches them. Kind of hard to get onto the dredge line. There we go. APA's out of there. But FlyQuest actually winning the scrap at the Herald.
Yeah, really nice turnaround. And the big thing is, this starts off really good for TL. They see the teleport. They know they have the angle to get it going. But they only get one kill after blowing all their crucial cooldowns. No Nautilus ult, no Kennen ult. So there's the opportunity for FlyQuest to turn things around here. Isolating, kidnapping Mir with the all-out was a big part of picking up that shutdown. And even though Arrow fought admirably, he ends up overstaying and not respecting the all-out Cassante, which as 2 games in a row, both these AD carries have done that.
That's one of those moments as Masu too. The young AD carry, I think, showing some of the inexperience there. Not flashing the dredge line, walking forward and kind of face tanking the rest of that fight. Pretty good though, having a player like Faisal. We've seen what he was able to do on Fear. Just single-handedly winning them games, specifically on this Cassante pick.
Right.
And I think also showing that he can still do it wearing a different jersey.
Yeah, we said it. It was crime that Faisal was not on a Challengers team in spring. He was able to do great things with Cincinnati Fear. Finished top 4, and of course, FlyQuest said, hey, you know what? This Faisal guy is pretty good. Let's give him a shot. And finally, the opportunity was given, and he's delivering so far.
3-0 and 0 on the Cassante. And all the kills, none of the assists right now. Trying to put it on his Gary pants. It is Herald, still picked up by Team Liquid at the end of the day. FlyQuest did not reset to take another scrap there. Instead, they're setting up control around the dragon that has just spawned, trying to deny the stacking of Team Liquid.
Yeah, and FlyQuest, they gotta let this Herald go. You need to maintain control over this pit. Soul Point would be a detriment. Keep an eye on Mir again. Always finds these flank angles, and they don't know where he is.
Oh, they actually back off. FlyQuest are not confident enough to just burst down the dragon. Now the engage from APA, they see Mir. They know where the enemy smite is, but they don't see Bradley. He's into the pit. FlyQuest has to be very careful.
Bradley has flash
available. He's into there! Massive engage coming in from Team Liquid, but it actually might not be enough to start things off.
Oh, they got it.
One back, but Arrow is in there! And Arrow provides the damage for the team fight. Mir backing him up, both of them getting a double kill, and that dragon belongs to Team Liquid.
And just like that, the lead continues to belong to Team Liquid as well. The Herald knocks down the tier 2, so the gamble that FlyQuest go for doesn't pay off. And another structure goes into Team Liquid's pockets here. This gold Mir is massively fed compared to everyone else. And we saw what it took to take him out at that second Herald fight. And even that wasn't enough for them. This is what FlyQuest have to contend against. It's Bradley on a flank. It's Mir on a flank. It's so difficult.
I love seeing stories like Mir's as we get another look at this. Bradley's engage on the cannon actually wasn't like game-changing. It came down to just the brute force damage.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of damage comes through, but you also force summoner spells out. That's 2 flashes from the AD carry and jungle of FlyQuest, and they were still outranged. So Arrows knows he can flash forward and just output all the DPS he wants. It's red and white, so it's his time to fight.
Even if Bradley couldn't lock everybody down with that juicy looking ult that looked like it could just end the entire series right there. He got the flashes and did enough damage at the follow-up from Team Liquid. It got the team fight win. Well, we have a setup for another potential scrap here. I wanted to talk about Mir, but I don't think I'll get an opportunity. FlyQuest want to go for something here. They caught Arrow.
Oh,
no
really nice.
spells. Big shutdown for Spyrax, and he'll survive it as well. Lateral damage almost taking him down. Can Faisal live too? All Out is available. APA trying to lock him down. It's not this tanky, but is he tanky enough? All Out's on the APA over the wall. UG with a follow-up lockdown, but Mir is here. Mir can just walk forward with a Yumi on top of him. He talks about how dangerous this is. Even with the exhaust, they still get the kill on the UG.
Man, I don't know what rooted. I think it was the Nautilus auto attack.
Oh,
UG.
boy.
Oh my god.
Okay, Moss is down. Faisal tries to turn something
joking.
back. And another double kill to Mir. This Graves is unstoppable. APA chase now wins him. Oh, doesn't get the final tick of damage. But we'll be able to walk away regardless.
It's fine, Kangas. TLC is just going to go ahead and start the Baron. You're seeing the healing coming through because jungle privilege is a wonderful thing. And now, even with the ult out of the picture, Bradley is TPing to the fight. FlyQuest have to try something, but
you just got to go for the steal.
I don't know what they can do.
If you give this Baron over, you're going to lose so much control over the Rift.
They don't have
As you
time.
try and go for the Hail Mary, it's too late. That Baron is down. Mir putting on a clinic right now, 8-1 and 5, and I'm gonna get on my soapbox and talk about this guy.
Do it.
Played in the LCK, moved down to OS, and had a career in that region. Had to work his way back to a Tier 1 league. Now playing in North America in the Tier 2, still chasing for that shot in the LCS. He won MVP in spring. No surprise seeing performances like this. I love a comeback story, and Mir is that comeback story, having to grind his way back to the top.
That's right, and right off the back, he was such an outstanding player in Challengers League, and okay, I thought a play was gonna happen. Are we gonna fight? We're not gonna fight. Mir, outstanding player is what I was trying to say from the beginning. And he just continued to impress us on so many different champions, so many different styles. And not only him, but TLC seem to have not missed a beat since summer started. That's always the question. And we see teams who get top placements. Do they keep it up? Do they even maintain themselves? And TLC seem like they have done that and more. If
They've
week
improved.
1 is any
They're looking better now than they were at the end of spring.
Yeah.
And I know that there's an argument competition, you know, might be a little easier in the summer than it was in this spring. Surely there's less teams to compete against, but regardless, somebody's got to be the top. And right now, even though expectations were high for FlyQuest, Team Liquid are getting the better of them. 23 minutes in the game. We're already at a Dragon Soul, and we got an engage from Team Liquid. APA starts it off. Big damage from Arrow to follow on. Moonlight Vigil does massive damage to everybody on FlyQuest, and they have to back off. Dragon's up in 45 seconds. They got to reset, get back on this map, and Team Liquid control the Rift.
The map is in shambles for FlyQuest. No opportunity to clear for vision. No opportunity to get any kind of setup before the Dragon Soul for Team Liquid Challengers. 30 seconds, and one of the best buffs in the game will be theirs, unless FlyQuest perform some unspeakable miracle.
18 seconds till it spawns. Team Liquid, with all this vision down, can see any way that FlyQuest try and approach the Dragon. But with Baron up, you don't even have to go for the Dragon. I actually do like what they're doing here. I love when teams that will instead prioritize the wave state say, let's utilize the Baron, push in, maybe even take a turret. We can always get the Dragon when we walk back into the base, and APA can even look for fishes with that hook. Nier can even just solo the Dragon. FlyQuest have no one nearby. They will not contest, and a free Dragon Soul to Team Liquid Challengers.
Oh, Kangas, this game just got so much harder for FlyQuest. TLC have the Ocean Soul. They prioritize focus on the top side, which ultimately, given the situation, is the correct decision. But giving up the Ocean Soul being the correct decision is probably the worst feeling you can have as a team. You get some setup for Baron, which is up in 30 minutes, and you hope that you can maybe make a play for that. Last long enough to flip it Elder. But Kangas, it's a flip. Let's not mistake it.
It will come down to a steal most likely from FlyQuest.
If we even get there.
If we even get there. UG heavily pinched in the jungle pool. Pulling out the Rek'Sai was exciting in pick ban, but a Rek'Sai from behind is not a good feeling.
No.
And you are playing from very far behind. I am kind of scared to see this, but I would like to look at the gold graph one more time.
Yeah.
See where Mir's at compared to his jungle opposition. Because I'm looking at the items built, and that is insane. Okay, so there's the team gold graph. Big lead for Team Liquid. But next up, we'll see the champion gold graph, and that is going to be one for the ages, I assume. Oh, no. Oh, that is
I see.
double.
He's literally has doubled. He's doubled UG's gold. Let's just say it. Like, that's...
What, 1K behind double?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give credit.
Let's say 7,000 gold instead of 8,000 in one individual person. My bad. My bad. You're right.
I know Rek'Sai's new to the meta, but let's call up any junglers from Season 6 and ask them what Rek'Sai's like from behind. Because I imagine it's not going to be great. They got a lot of Hail Mary plays. They're trying to get APA. He's quite tanky on this Nautilus, and even with the teleport from Faisal, they cannot lock down the mid laner for Team Liquid. Bradley's still pushing mid wave. He did not accomplish much there. FlyQuest, they need to look for plays like that because they're not going to win this game conventionally. Unfortunate that that one is absorbed, and now they just have to retreat back to their base. They take so much damage from Arrow.
Even with the Moonlight Vigil missing, he's still peppering them with damage as TLC very calmly, firmly, just unstoppably break into the base, take inhibitor number 1, and they're about to do number 2.
Roster with no changes, no surprise early on in their split. They're looking good. They might just stare down another win. A 2-0 right here. They got UG. Faisal down as well, and that should just be the game. There's another wave here and one pushing in top wave. Team Liquid in a 5v3 can just dive under the turret. And that's the flash from APA. They're jumping on the Masu. Looking to take down their rivals in summer. Team Liquid Honda Challengers off of an MVP performance from Mir, and everybody stepping up to the plate. 2-0 FlyQuest Challengers.
And what a dominating finish here in the first match between two of our top teams here in Challengers League Summer. It's really worth noting that our format has changed to a double elimination. There will be a second time that these teams meet, but so far, TLC feeling pretty good about themselves at the top of the mountain.
That was a clinic. swapped off between two players. Game 1, Arrow stepping up huge on the Jinx and hard carrying, even though APA did get that quadra at the end. Shoutouts to the mid laners. But then in that Game 2, it was all about Mir taking control of the entire game. FlyQuest were not able to find a way back into that. And I love the approach from draft to performance in game, everything working out for Team Liquid Honda Challengers. And I think they might have just, after that, I know it's double round robin, so we get a chance for revenge later in the summer. True. But based on conversations and expectations early on coming into the split, this might just put Team Liquid Honda Challengers as the top dogs of the league and the team to beat.
I mean, for the moment, just based off who the competition they played this weekend, and of course, the fact that they beat FlyQuest in such a dominating bastion. TLC, DSG, FlyQuest. 3 teams. When we had our broadcast meetings at the start of the split, we said these are going to be our top teams. We were confident in that. And I don't think that's changed this weekend. But who is at the top may have changed for some of us. Because at this exact moment, TLC, it's got to be them.
Nice 2-0 to close out the first weekend of Challengers League for TLC. We're going to send it to a short break before we are back with an interview with Mad Magical on the other side. So we'll see you there.
Hello, hello. Welcome back. We're here for the Verizon post-game interview. I have the MVP of Spring, Mir, with me after that 2-0 domination over FlyQuest Challengers. Mir, first question I always ask is, how does it feel, especially after you popped off?
I mean, it feels pretty normal, pretty chill, because I didn't really do anything because literally my team literally set up me for everything. So like, if I wasn't like doing great, like it's just about my teammates, because I literally don't think I did something special.
You don't think you did something, but you got the solo kill, on Rek'Sai early on using the smoke screen. You got that triple kill where it was 1v3 after your team had died. You don't feel like you did anything special?
I think every Graves player could do that, I think.
Well, I know we were talking in the break. It's been a long time since you last played Graves. In fact, when was the last time you played him?
I played the Last Words 12 to 2022 playing stage first Fnatic. This has been like a year and a half, I guess. No, just half.
Yeah.
Half of a year, yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a while since you last played him. And so what was the whole idea with the build that you had? Because you started with the Umbral Glaive, which we thought was a very interesting choice.
Oh, I actually looked it up OPG before game started, because I haven't played Graves for like a really long time. So I just looked it up, the highest win rate on champion. So it was Umber, Yomu, then I think it was Collector, but Collector doesn't sound very good into their comp. So I just built Cleaver, and since I had like a lot of shutdown, I just built GAs and then whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the graphic, the damage graphic, just so you can see. You did a little bit of damage. You did a little, just a little bit of damage there. We're having you predict, during the break what you thought. Did you think you did just that much damage?
I didn't thought I did that much damage, to be honest. I thought I did very standard damage, but that looks pretty cool. Yeah. Doesn't
it? I feel like if I added it up, it's almost exactly the amount of damage the rest of your team did combined. That's how close it is. You just, like I said, you were awesome. Sarah, I'm going to get it back to us so we can just talk a little bit more. But I just wanted to show you that because I thought that was awesome. But let's talk about you a little bit, because you are our reigning MVP and you have the trophy with you right now. So how does that feel to have been the spring MVP, now going into summer as that player that's kind of got a target on his head?
To be honest, I didn't really thought I'm gonna get MVP before like playoffs, and when I received it, it was feel kind of weird because I didn't really expect anything to get MVP, and that happened. But since I got it, I should have myself on high expected, and I should play well every single game as possible.
And I feel like you've done so already. It's only 1 week that we've had so far, but you have been a big point of power for the team. And you've been working very well with this squad. You're one of only 2 teams that kept the entirety of their team from spring to summer. So do you feel like that gives you guys a little bit of an edge going into the summer split compared to everyone else?
Yes, definitely. Since we didn't change our roster and we kept our team, thanks for TL. But since we keep the roster, I think we build our synergies very well with our coach Jake, Spawn, and yeah, I think we are on the right spot to win the split. I think.
Do you think that there's any? Not do you think? Are there any teams that you consider on the same level as you? Because there's so far only been one team that's beaten you, and that's in one game. That was Disguised.
I think this DSG and FlyQuest are our contender. I'll say their DSG team is like the 3 of teams former from C9 Challengers, and they won the last split, right? So they should be on good spot to win. But I also think we improve fast as possible. So I think we are good spot to win this split. I think.
All right, I like to hear it. So before I let you go, any shout outs you want to give any family and friends out there?
I especially want to shout out to our teammates. Bradley is like his own rough situation right now, but he's still doing his job correctly, and he's doing like. If I was that situation, I'll be maybe affect my condition on in game, but he doesn't seem to like affected that condition in game at all. So I'm really surprised at him, and I hope he keep doing well in the game.
Yeah, we'll have to see if you guys do. Also, shout out to Bradley's mom. You know, I know you guys are all doing charity work to try to help out with Bradley's mom's condition. I appreciate that. But Mir, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. I'm going to let you go celebrate with your team now.
All right, thank you.
All right, and we will see everyone else after the short break. See you on the other side getting ready for our second series of the day.